The men's up to 88 kilo competition is next. That is our stage. The stage in our wonderful theatre here in the 18th arrondissement. An arrondissement that was the incubator for the creative gifts of the likes of Pablo Picasso up in the area of Montmartre. But here it is less about creative brains but more muscular brawn, as the para-powerlifting focuses on the bench press and the bench press alone. It is the ultimate test of upper body strength, and we have a field of 10 for this up to 88 kilo final. There are 3 new Paralympians: Dennis, Mbaziira, Ben Wright and Khusniddin Usmanov of Uzbekistan. We have a bronze medalist from the up to 80 kilo category from Tokyo, Mohamed Elelfat, and we have a gold medalist from the up to 97 kilo category from Tokyo in Yan Panpan. So lots of fine lifters, but some appearing in this weight classification for the first time. And I think it's fair to say that the Parisians and those from all around the globe who've come to support today are excited and in fine voice. Records are there to be broken, as they say, and the Porte de la Chapelle Arena appears to be particularly adept at providing the platform with which to break them. Abdelkarim Khattab of Jordan won't be featuring in this weight class in Paris. He's moving up, so there is scope for those records to be challenged. Our trio of referees hail from Finland, Thailand and Malaysia. Mod Ridwan Anand, the chief among them, who will sit at the head of the bench with the 2 others stationed to the right and left. All 3 will have a casting vote as to whether it is a good lift or a no lift. A white light means good, a red light means no. You don't need a clean sweep. Majority rules in para-powerlifting, so 2 white lights will get the tricolour fluttering should a French lifter or even an athlete from another nation be successful. Well, these spotters and loaders are worthy of an ice bath just as much as the athletes after their work is done. They're charged with making sure that the bar is racked at the agreed height that the athletes have submitted before the competition, and also that the weight is all present and correct. And with a bit of spray and elbow grease, pristine for the para-powerlifters of Paris 2024. My name is Joe Burns, and alongside me for the men's up to 88 kilo final in the para-powerlifting at Paris 2024 is Pete Selby.
Thank you, Joe. And our first athlete is making his way on stage in this cauldron of an atmosphere here at the Porte de la Chapelle Arena. Here's Mbaziira of Uganda, will be making his first attempt of 180 kilograms. It's 180 kilograms in round 1. Paralympic game debut. They did 182 in Dubai last year in the World Championships. taking all of his time. Got those 2 minutes to lift. Start to lift. This is more than the recent World Cup event in Tbilisi, where he lifted 178. Starting at 180, the 39-year-old. His first Paralympic Games.
Start! Right!
Warm applause from the crowd. And 2 white lights, so that's enough. Majority rules with the referees, 2 white lights. Body position was the issue for the referee on the right. Dennis Mbaziira, who was at the centre of attention when it came to the opening ceremony. Along with Peter Mora, was the flag bearer for Uganda in that wonderful ceremony. And a wonderful start to his campaign in the men's up to 88.
Evanio da Silva of Brazil comes up the verge to the bench for his opening attempt of 181 kilos. It's the 3rd time that we are enjoying the company of Evanio da Silva on the bench at a Paralympics, always in the up to 88 kilo category. Didn't record a good lift in Tokyo, however, he claimed silver in his home games in Rio 8 years ago. An opening lift of 181 kilos for the Brazilian.
Start! What? Right!
Two white lights will do nicely indeed for Evanio da Silva, who climbs to first position in the early stages of this para-powerlifting contest. A successful lift of 181 kilos.
Here comes Ben Wright of Australia. 37 years old, from Perth. Paralympic debut. Made plenty of appearances at World Championships. He's lifted 191 in Dubai last year in this weight category, so 184. We know he can lift. Powerlifting now for just over 10 years. Former wheelchair basketball player. Scott Upston just sorting out the straps.
Start. Punch. White. Right.
And 184 in round one. Safely negotiated by Ben Wright, who's underway in Paris on Paralympic debut. Ben Wright will look to lift an awful lot more. He's done it before in major championships. Great start from the Perth native. Bronze medalist from the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham a couple of years ago, and a very measured first lift.
Wawrzyniec Latus, the 42-year-old from Poland, returns to the top of the sport once again. His second Paralympics, but the first sighting of the 42-year-old Pole since London back in 2012. He was presented with the Saturn Rings Award in his home country to recognise his feat of becoming a Paralympian. He's had to wait an awfully long time to return to the Paralympic bar. And today he does so with 186 kilos in accumulation upon it.
Start. Right.
Lack symmetry on the press, and all three referees identifying that he didn't lock out at the same time. Looked in good control. The down sequence more than satisfactory, and the stop. But the press not good enough, so it's a no lift. For Wawrzyniec Latus, and immediately they put in their next weight to lift. Here he is, amped up. Stop, motionless, but the bar began to list and he wrestled to bring it back on course, but not enough to satisfy the three referees. No lift for Wawrzyniec Latus.
A huge roar to announce his arrival. Rakhmetzhan Khamayev of Kazakhstan, 200 kilograms, is now on the bar for round one, 37 years old. Fifth in Tokyo, lifting 195. Third in the Asian Para Games on the back of Tokyo. Been lifting for over 10 years now internationally for Kazakhstan. Khamayev is Hero, the great Kazakhstani powerlifter.
Start. Up. Right.
Well, very smooth. And 3 white lights. The lockout was perfect on the arms, and that's a very impressive first round lift for Rakhmetzhan Khamayev of Kazakhstan, getting his Paralympic Games competition here in Paris underway in the best possible way. Lifted more than Tokyo already. And has a determined look on his face. Just a little bit of applause to say thank you to the crowd, but he's here for business. And his business is lifting very, very heavy weights. 200 kilograms in round one.
Khusniddin Usmanov of Uzbekistan makes his way to the bench for the first time in a Paralympic Games. 29 years old, from the nation that has provided a number of athletes throughout this para-powerlifting program. It is certainly a sport that has captured the imagination and also flexed the muscles of Uzbekistan. He was 6th in the up to 97 kilo category at the World Championships in Dubai in 2023. That was with a lift of 213, so we know he possesses great power.
Start. Right.
That great power clearly demonstrated with a lift that elicits 3 white lights from the referees. Khusniddin Usmanov successful in his first attempt of 208 kilos for him and Uzbekistan.
In his 7th Paralympic Games, Mohamed Khamis, Khalaf of the United Arab Emirates, former 2-time Paralympic champion from Athens and Rio. A glittering career, and he's looking to add to his long and illustrious story of powerlifting. Failed to lift in Tokyo. The same in London. Aiming for big weights though, 210 in round 1.
Start. Right.
Well, with the experience that he's had, and he knows a good lift when he lifts 1, 2 white lights. Just the stop sequence for one of the referees, but the now 55-year-old Mohamed Khamis Khalaf can look forward to future lifts. So he won't repeat what happened in Tokyo and in London. He'll be looking to what happened in Beijing, Athens and Rio, and that's winning medals at Paralympic Games.
That's how the leaderboard looks at the moment after that lift. But it could all change right now because Yurii Babynets of the Ukraine is out and onto the bench and ready to go in fast fashion. Born in Romney, now calling Kovel home, the 29-year-old. He was 9th at Tokyo in his first Paralympic Games. That was with a best lift of 175, 212 on the bar.
Start. Right.
212, absolutely dominated. Well, that went down and up almost as fast as he was on the bench and set to go. All done within a blink of an eye. And with the flash of 3 white lights, Yurii Babynets doesn't just leapfrog to first place, he rockets there. A marker laid down by the Ukrainian.
Elelfat from a great nation when it comes to powerlifting, and that's Egypt. My word, what a history that country has. with powerlifting. And a lot of that history has been written by Mohamed Elelfat. Silver medal winner in London, bronze medalist in Tokyo, 4th in Beijing, and went for some big lifts, and he's not got a good lift in Rio. Former world champion as well. Bronze medalist in Dubai last year, lifting 222 kilograms. This will be more than any lift he's managed in Paralympic Games. Powerlifting for nearly 30 years now. 45-year-old underneath 220.
Start. Right.
He's in 220 kilograms into the air, and 3 white lies for Mohamed Elelfat. That's a big weight for round 1. Managed to lift 225 recently in Tbilisi in the World Cup events that take place in many different cities throughout the course of the world, and the World Cup circuit every year. So there's a man in form, and that's a very good lift in round 1. Even after just 1 lift, I think it's easy for everyone here in the Port de la Chapelle Arena to see that the Egyptian Mohamed Elelfat is hungry for another medal.
The People's Republic of China, represented by Yan Panpan, will be the last nation to lift here in this opening round at the Port de la Chapelle. In Yan Panpan, China have a gold medalist from Tokyo, but from the weight class above, up to 97 kilos he was involved in 3 years ago with a winning lift of 227 kilos. Well, he's got 230 on the bar to commence proceedings here, and that is 1 kilo shy of the Paralympic record set in Tokyo by the Jordanian Khatab. Yan Panpan for the lead, and for a lift, 1 kilo shy of the Paralympic record.
Right.
Well, it wasn't just Yan Panpan in that lift, was it? It was his coach, Sun Xiao Gang, in the background, easing it up with his body language. Well, he might have been there for support, but it was all about the brawn of Yan Panpan, who cruises through that weight of 230 kilos. A successful first attempt, and China's Yan Panpan is in the gold position after the first round of lifting complete. Confirmation there with Elelfat in silver and Babynets in bronze, but you look at the rest of that leaderboard and there's a bit of movement to come with more weight and more lifts.
Then it's Mbaziira will get round 2 underway. looking for 186, lifted 180 in round 1. This will move Dennis currently into 7th place. Just one athlete so far without a good lift. The man from Kampala on the south coast of Uganda. In round 2 here in Paris. 186.
Right.
Well, the weight looked comfortable. And a good lift given. Just a slight question mark about body position, according to the left referee. But Dennis, with 186, and it's Mbaziira. Leapfrog a couple of places, up to 7th currently. And his Paralympic debut here in Paris is going rather well. Walking off with his coach, Kenneth Sikilanda. Confirming his 3rd round total on the board. Speaking of on the board, Dennis Mbaziira with 2 valid lifts so far.
And so to Poland's Wawrzyniec Latus. Disappointment from his first attempt at 186. He lost his way through the press sequence, and you see him there visualizing how he's going to get there on this occasion. A return to the top table of para-powerlifting for the first time since London 2012. 186 at the 2nd attempt for the Polish lifter.
Start. Right.
Additional impetus delivers additional benefits. A good lift, 2 white lights out of the 3. The referee on the right side taking issue with his body positioning. Probably the element of the sequence, that and the down sequence that you see the least infractions of, but doesn't matter. There's 2 white lights there. That's a good lift. And Latus has mastered 186 kilos, and he jumps up to 8.
Evanio de Silva of Brazil. 40 years old. Brilliant Paralympic Games in his home country of Rio, winning the the silver medal indeed. ...210 kilograms lifted that day, and has won individual medals in World Championships before. Bronze medalist in Mexico City back in 2017 now, and part of a strong Brazilian side who won silver in the mixed event 2 years later. Parapan American champion of last year. He's attempting 187 in round 2.
Start. Right.
And a good lift for De Silva, just a press sequence according to the chief referee. And De Silva with 187 in round 2. Excellent lift. Been lifting and representing Brazil for over 10 years now. Going through those medals earlier. It's been a very, very successful career. And is lifting very well here in the Paralympics in Paris.
Ben Wright's on his way back out for attempt number 2, having successfully pressed 184 kilos. A man from Vivash, eastern suburb of Perth, known as the City of Swan. Well, can he keep his composure above water? And once again, press out a smooth lift. A lift that, at this weight of 192, will climb a few places. He's been bumped back down to 10th. 192 would take him to 7th. He's been to World Championships dating all the way back to 2014. He's never made it here, though. He's never made it to a Paralympic bench.
Start. Right. Right.
And now he's here. He's determined to make it count. 3 white lights, 192 kilos. No worries for the Australian. Ben Wright makes it 2 good lifts out of 2 attempts, and he's up to 7th position.
Khamayev for Kazakhstan, and Rakhmetzhan in 209 in round 2. 200 kilograms safely lifted in round 1. 5th place in Tokyo. It's gone way beyond the 195 he lifted. A couple of years ago in the Asian Para Games. It's a very strong competition, the Asian Para Games, and to win a bronze medal was a mighty, mighty effort, lifting 203. So, understanding how much this 209 kilograms is for Rakhmetzhan.
Right.
And he won't lift it in round 2. It's a very, very heavy weight, obviously, but again, in terms of his career, this is a mighty, mighty weight. Attempt again in round 3, but it will be a no lift for Rakhmetzhan Khamayev of Kazakhstan. 200 kilograms in round 1 will keep him currently in 6th place here in Paris, and he will try that 209, who knows, maybe more, in round 3.
Khusniddin Usmanov had a successful first attempt of 208 kilos and now goes for 213. The 29-year-old is part of a powerful cohort of Uzbekistanis who are here in the French capital, looking to make an indelible mark, or a dent maybe would be the appropriate term, on this bench across multiple categories. Ordinarily in the sport, you go to a Worlds, you'll find 400 plus athletes competing, but the guest list is a lot slimmer here in Paris, just 180, with the privilege of calling themselves powerlifting Paralympians.
Start.
Khusniddin Usmanov is one, but he is not one with a successful second attempt. 3 red lights from the referees. It was a battle all the way up with the bar, and he thought maybe he might have salvaged it with the lockout of both elbows, but not to the satisfaction of the referees. I don't think there'll be a challenge for this, but his initial lift is good enough for 5th place at the moment. And I think that he feels he has got that big lift in him. He's got more weight to offer on the bar, and he's got higher to go in the table.
Yurii Babynets of Ukraine very quickly onto the bench now. 214 in round 2, 212 lifted in round 1. Currently in the bronze medal position, 9th in Tokyo, but since then it really has progressed. He was part of a silver medal winning team in the Worlds last year, individual, 2nd European Championships 2 years ago, but here in Paris is looking very determined. As good as you like in round 2, matching round 1, that's 214 kilograms. And Yurii Babynets is currently in the bronze medal position. Real fight on for this bronze medal. Babynets very determined, very cool. And, well, there's going to be quite a discussion, one would suggest, for the weight in round 3. Because it's very close for the bronze at the moment. But the way that Yurii Babynets is lifting, it would be no surprise to see him win bronze. Plenty to go, though.
Time for the United Arab Emirates turn, and that's of Mohamed, Khamis, Khalaf, who now, after that opening lift, can officially call himself a 7-time Paralympian. A quite remarkable accomplishment on its own. The fact that he's left 3 of the previous 6 with medals, a silver in Beijing, gold in Athens, and so too Rio, his most recent capturing of precious metal. It's a storied history. Is it one that includes a 215 kilo lift in the Porte de la Chapelle arena on his 2nd attempt?
Start. Right.
The answer was almost emphatically yes. Everyone here was priming themselves to explode in appreciation of what was such a solid lift all the way until he got to the Hillary step of that Mount Paralympus. And he just fell away, just waned at the critical moment. A rueful look from Khalaf. A no lift for the man from the UAE.
1, 3.
And his destiny will depend on his third and final lift.
Mohamed Elelfat for Egypt. He's currently in second place with the 220 lifted in round 1. Panpan currently in the gold medal position. He will be out of reach. That's all for round 3. For now, it's just about making sure of his place in the silver medal position. With a silver at home from London and a bronze last time out in Tokyo. 45-year-old Mohamed Elelfat attempting 224 in round 2. .224 in round 2 to remain in the silver medal position.
Start.
Well, the crowd knew, didn't they? There was a lovely reaction from the crowd of both respect and a little bit of astonishment as well, because that was a very, very competent and well put together power lift. Mohamed Elelfat lifting 224. And he's loving this, enjoying the music, the acclaim, and looking like he wants to lift more, and I'm sure he'll give his best in round 3 at a higher weight. That's the silver medal position, not secured. It's got a long way to doing so.
China's Yan Panpan is here for his second attempt, an attempt that will blow apart the current Paralympic records. It stands at 231 kilos. It is held by the Jordanian Abdelkarim Khattab. He set it in Tokyo just over 3 years ago. But it may only have a shelf life of a further minutes and 10 seconds. Yan Panpan successful in his opening attempt of 230 kilos. He sets his sights on 235 and a new Paralympic record. Pure power from Panpan. And a Paralympic record. He hasn't just claimed a new Paralympic record, he has decimated the last by a whole 4 kilos. Sheer dominance of the bar. Clear stop on the sequence and then explodes up from the chest. In complete control, a new Paralympic record. Confirmation of how things stand after that second round of lifting. Jan Panpan streaks ahead of the rest of the competition, but a number of battles for placing still to come in this third round.
And the third round gets underway with Dennis Mbaziira of Uganda with 2 good lifts so far of 180 and 186. We're up to 188 now in round 3. Currently in 9th place. The 39-year-old at his first Paralympic Games. Can he have 3 good lifts out of 3? The flag bearer for Uganda here in Paris. Kenneth Skilander looking on, the coach. Introduced into the sport by a friend, and well, he's gone on to great things. Here in Paris, it might just be the best career so far. He lifted 188. Certainly in terms of weight in championships. Round 3.
Start! Right!
Very deliberate down onto the chest. It's a no lift, unfortunately. Body position from the left and indeed the right referee. I wonder whether they're going to appeal this decision. So body position is the issue. Just a warm round of applause from the crowd. Dennis Mbaziira then back with 186 in round 2. Walk past the monitor in a second with his coach. Where they can lodge an appeal and they decide against it. So 186 and currently in 9th place for Dennis Mbaziira.
Wawrzyniec Latus is out looking for a second successful lift at the 3rd attempt. He's in 10th position at the moment by virtue of Dennis Mbaziira successfully lifting 186, which is the same as the pole, but the Ugandan did it first. So he's loaded up 193. He has both Mbaziira, De Silva and Wright in his sights on the leaderboard.
Start! Right!
He looks on longingly to the electronic board for the call from the referees, but it's 3 red lights. It is a no lift on his 3rd and final attempt. 3 valiant attempts. 1 good, and a 10th place. Wawrzyniec Latus, returning for his second Paralympics after waiting 12 years since his debut in London, returns after a dozen years and is a Paralympian once again.
Evanio Silva of Brazil, 193 in round 3, 2 successful lifts so far in his competition. Silver medalist from Rio in his home Paralympics, looking to lift 193, which will move him above Ben Wright into 7th place at this time.
Stabiliza, stabiliza.
Trying to complete the press, but he can't. De Silva failing at 193. Appreciating the applause. Plenty of Brazilian flags and support here for this session. Evanio De Silva will remain in 8th place with 187 in round 2. Very quickly down onto his chest. I just wonder whether the stop sequence would have been a problem as well, but he failed to complete the press. And again, it will be 8th place for Evanio De Silva of Brazil.
Ben Wright of Australia is back for his 3rd and final lift at Paris 2024. He is secured 7th. He has a lift of 195. He'll go no higher, but he will fall no lower, with the 7th place finish that is within his grasp. This is for his own personal satisfaction. This is so that he can say 195 kilos at Paris 2024, that was me. Secures his grip on the bar first and foremost before being strapped in securely by his coach, Simon Bergner.
Start.
Punch! All the way!
Right.
All the way was the call, but ultimately only halfway achievable. Somewhere he has gone all the way to is here in Paris, his first Paralympic Games, and a 7th place finish with a best lift of 192 kilos for Australia's Ben Wright.
More weight being added on all the time as a little bit of tactics are applied to future lifts there. You can see young Panpan on top with that 235 kilograms, but further down, Rakhmetzhan, Khamayev of Kazakhstan. Well, he lifted 200 kilograms in round one, failed at 209 in round two, and there was just a little bit of chopping and changing with the weights. So currently in 6th place. This is 210. This would then temporarily go up to 5th place. Question whether I might try and go for 215 to go into the bronze medal position, but electing for 210. So to move into 5th place. Round 3, 210. Very quickly onto the chest and not completing the lift. So it will be a no lift for Rakhmetzhan. Khamayev will remain in 6th place here in Paris. 5th last time in Tokyo. .200 kilograms lifted in round one, bettering the amount he lifted in Tokyo. And Rakhmetzhan acknowledging the warm applause of the crowd. Disappointed to not lift his 3rd round weight to move up a position. But will be 6th here in Paris. Another superb competition for Khamayev.
That's how things stand heading into the final list. We've got a few to come, 6 in fact, no, 5. And Mohamed Khamis Khalaf, the legendary lifter from the UAE, is vying for bronze. That is the honor of Yurii Babynets at the moment, with a best lift of 214 kilos. And a man whose iconic status in para-sports in the UAE was confirmed all the while ago in London when he bared the flag of his nation at the opening ceremony. Approaches the bar for his 3rd and final lift, 215 kilos. If successful, he will move into the bronze medal position.
Start.
Once again, so close, the bar suspended tantalizingly, not just for Khalaf, but for all willing it, in a sense, at the Porte de la Chapelle Arena. But for the great Mohamed Khamis Khalaf, there'll be no medal, but there will be an extraordinary 7th Paralympics to his name. Remarkable from Mohamed Khamis Khalaf of the UAE.
Well, the equation is quite simple for Khusniddin Usmanov of Uzbekistan on Paralympic debut. if he lifts this weight of 215 kilograms, he will move into the bronze medal position. Babynets still to lift. Currently in 5th place. He would go ahead of the great Mohamed Khalaf. Also Yurii Babynets, temporarily at least. Psyching himself up, prowling around the bench. And a roar before he attempts this lift. I just wonder whether there's going to be even louder roar from Khusniddin in the next few seconds. 3rd round lift, 215 to move into 3rd.
Start.
Can he complete the press? He can't. It will be a no lift for Khusniddin Usmanov. And he will remain in 5th position. A tremendous ovation for what has been a superb Paralympic debut. 208 kilograms in round 1. He went high in rounds 2 and especially in round 3 to try and move into a medal position. Might well happen in future Paralympics. Only 29. And Khusniddin Usmanov can be very, very proud of his Paralympics debut and will remain in 5th place in Paris.
That's how things stand, and as far as the 3 medalists are concerned, things won't change. Although there is scope for positional jockeying on the podium. For Yurii Babynets, bronze is assured. Can he stretch to silver? He was 9th in Tokyo with a lift of 175 in the up to 80 kilo category. He's packed on some quality timber in the cycle and he's amplified his lifting if he's successful here to the tune of 225 kilos. Goodness me! Yurii Babynets has not quite done it. He's fallen short by 1 white light. The immediate reaction is to gesture that they want a lift challenge for this, and quite right they should. It'll go to the video jury. 3 of them must concur. All 3 must be in agreement to overturn the no lift. They're looking at the lockout and they are looking unfavourably upon it. Yurii Babynets came as close as you could possibly imagine to raising the weights in which he shifted between Olympic cycles by a whole 50 kilos. However, 214 ain't bad. In fact, it is bronze medal worthy. Yurii Babynets of Ukraine seals bronze here in Paris.
Here comes Mohamed Elelfat, trying to lift 230 kilograms and a little bit of a mischievous smile, I would say. Silver medal is safely assured for the great Egyptian. It's going to be another medal at the Paralympics. 220, 224, and now an attempt at 230. He looks completely at ease with himself and the situation, and so he might, knowing that silver is his. This to round off another stellar Paralympic Games for Mohamed Elelfat of Egypt.
Yurii!
Start!
It will be a no lift. He knows it doesn't matter. 230 kilograms, no lift in round 3. It will be a silver medal for Mohamed Elelfat. In his 5th Paralympic Games, the 45-year-old is winning medals once again to go alongside the silver in London and the bronze in Tokyo. Mohamed Elelfat can look back on 224 kilograms in round 2. A superb Paralympic Games from another Egyptian legend when it comes to para-powerlifting. Soaking up the applause. And a lovely silver medal to go alongside. Fantastic celebration. It's another medal for Elelfat.
With bronze and silver determined, it is now time for the gold medal winner-elect. He's topped them all in 2 lifts. He's claimed a new Paralympic record in the process. And here, on his 3rd visit to the bench, having decimated it the lift before, he now looks to restructure this record in a guise that the Paralympics has never seen before. At the beginning of this competition, the record was at 231 kilos. It had stood for 3 years since Tokyo. Success here will bolster it by a whole 11 kilos, an unimaginable increase. 242 kilos for Jan Panpan for a new Paralympic record. Jan Panpan with another worldly lift to send the Paralympic record into another stratosphere. 3 attempts, 3 good lifts, consecutive Paralympic record breaking feats. The 3rd, a monstrous 242 kilos. It was so accomplished. It was never in doubt. It was history for Jan Panpan in Paris. We're taking confirmation of the results because this leaderboard won't change, with the bronze going to Ukraine's Yurii, Babynets, silver to Egypt's Mohamed Elelfat, and gold to China's Jan Panpan, with that remarkable Paralympic record compounded upon the one that he achieved in his second lift. But we will continue to focus our camera on the bench. We will all secretly within us will a return to the stage for Jan Panpan, who is entitled to target the world record. However, Jan Panpan says enough's enough.
Thank you very much.
I'll settle for the pinnacle of Paralympic achievements. I'll settle for the record, and there'll be no more lifts, but there will be a medal ceremony to come to celebrate the lifting feats of Yurii Babynets, Mohamed Elelfat, and Jan Panpan.
Mesdames et messieurs, la cérémonie des médailles pour la catégorie masculine Powerlifting, moins de 88 kilos.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for para-powerlifting men's up to 88 kilo category.
The medal ceremony for the men's up to 88 kilo class in the para-powerlifting at Paris 2024.
Les médailles seront remises par
The medals will be presented by
Monsieur Pierre Rabadan, en charge du sport des Jeux Olympiques et Paralympiques à la mairie.
Mr. Pierre Rabadan, who is the Deputy Mayor of Paris, is among the presentation party, accompanied by Mrs. Zainaba Zaid Anzum, who is the Saint-Denis Councillor for Sport.
Saint-Denis Departmental Councillor in charge of sport.
Médaille de bronze représentant l'Ukraine.
The bronze medalist from Ukraine, Yurii Babynets. What a moment for him and his nation. 9th in Tokyo in the weight classification below. In 3 years, he's climbed in stature, both physically and in achievement. And he will leave Paris as a bronze medalist. Bronze for Ukraine's Yurii Babynets.
D'argent représentant l'Égypte.
Silver medalist representing Egypt, Mohamed Elelfat.
Mohamed Elelfat of Egypt continues this rich run of talent that courses through the country. A bronze in Tokyo. He returns to the silver medal position, which he took a dozen years ago in London. Once again, he has proven to the world that he is imperious in para-powerlifting. Silver for Egypt's Mohamed Elelfat at Paris 2024.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing People's Republic of China, Yan Panpan.
A rapturous reception for one of the modern greats. He was a gold medalist in Tokyo in the up to 97 kilo category. And in his new class, he remains a different class. Not content with a gold, he broke the Paralympic record and then he extended it by an extraordinary amount with a lift that could well stand the test of time. Gold for China's Yan Panpan in the men's up to 88 kilo para-powerlifting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you're able for the anthem of People's Republic of China. gentlemen, the Paralympic medalists.
The medalists for the men's up to 88 kilo para powerlifting: bronze for Ukraine's Yurii, Babynets; silver for Egypt's Mohamed, Elelfat, and it is gold for the People's Republic of China, and a new Paralympic record for Panpan.